okay, Shanice.
Oh wait, she went
Oh,
out
that
last night.
no, that was
You
the
know she be
event.
posting her pictures a couple of days after she done been out. You know, she gotta take them.
Ah.
You know, she can't let you know too much what she got going on. You know, 'cause you know she got some people looking for her. Shanice always got some
I
boyfriends looking for her.
on God, stress me out.
All right, we going live on IG, and we are live on YouTube. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a sensational Saturday. I just wanted to come to you today, with a couple of my people. You know, we've been working. These people have gotten me just pumped up, excited about 2026. You know, as we go into New Year's, sometimes we gotta do things a little bit differently. We gotta shift. We gotta make adjustments. And one of the best adjustments that I have made is this vision to revenue program. When you get with other entrepreneurs, other people who you trust, the beautiful thing about this vision to revenue is I've had the opportunity and privilege of working with both Frank Lamar and Shanice before. I've worked with Shanice really extensively. We've been on calls for days, and we've gone and explored different cities and sold out stuff and did stuff with her. But when we got on this call, I'm not gonna lie, Frank and Shanice, I was a little hesitant. I'm not gonna lie. Shanice will tell you, I was like, hey, we got a lot going on. Okay. What more can we add to the plate? Sometimes when you're an entrepreneur, you got a lot going on. You get a little weary about adding something else to the plate. But what you have to look at is what value can you bring?
Mhm.
What value can it bring you? And how is it helping you serve your greater purpose?
Mm.
And what I know about both these two people is that number one, they're gonna bring value. That's number one. Off rip. Number two, their hearts are in the right places. They really care about the people that they're serving. And I feel like they genuinely care about me as a person, and that's good as well.
Yes, we
True.
That
do.
that's good as well, because you don't always feel that all the time. And then lastly, what we're able to bring to people from this program, Vision to Revenue, I believe is going to take some people and put them in a new stratosphere.
Mhm.
Take some people, and I think the thing that sold me about it was Shanice and I were talking about it. This was Frank. We weren't talking. You was on there, but Shanice and I we had some talks,
Mhm.
and I said to Shanice, I said, and she said, think about the businesses that were around, and think about if we could do a total 360 with them
Mm.
to look at their branding, because I'm good at a lot of things. I'm not gonna act like that I am the brand guru. I can get you out there. I can put you in the right places. But when it comes to the colors and how things are formatted and stuff like that, I got about this much patience for that. And last night, y'all was getting me together, Mr. A. Y'all was saying, we need to be on color brand and this needs, and I said, you know what? They right. They right. And sometimes if you don't have those people around you as an entrepreneur that push you, get you out your comfort zone a little bit, show you some new things, share what you got going on, and are still going after it and hungry to win, then you're with the wrong people. You're
Mhm.
with the wrong people. And so I wanted to just as we start this sensational Saturday, I know it's noon. Some of y'all just getting up, some of y'all been up for a while, some of y'all on the West Coast, and it's just getting the day started. I want to, and Frank, we gotta go ladies first because Shanice my girl. You know, I gotta go ladies first.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
cool. That's cool.
I'm from the Midwest, but I'm still a Southern
No
gentleman at
favorites
the
on this
same
call,
time.
right, Preston? No
I'm still
favorites.
a Southern gentleman, and that's my girl right there. So, Shanice, I
It
need
gets
you to
him
do.
very far being a gentleman.
Hey, I just need you to introduce yourself real quick. Just share our story, just a little background, and what made you want to be involved with this Vision of Revenue? What is this about? What got you and Frank and Mr. A and Natalie cooking in the kitchen that made you say, all right, we need to bring this to the plate in 2026.
The one thing I love, before I even get into that, I love these candid conversations. And you set the tone of how this is going to go today, because having these candid conversations, uncomfortable conversations, really speaking from the heart and sharing not just who we are, but how we build together, it just really speaks of volumes. So with that being said, I am the infamous now, Shanice Gibbs,
The infamous.
CEO and founder. If I don't say it, who else is, right?
Hey, I will.
But CEO and founder of Bearskin USA, which is an amazing plant-based skincare brand. I had the opportunity of meeting Frank Lamar, and I'm still really trying to figure out, like, I still don't remember at have been able to do some amazing things. Through that, I was introduced to Preston from Frank Lamar. And what we build is a phenomenal relationship. So one thing I say about Frank Lamar and I say about Preston as well, they're both people who bring value. I have long-standing relationships just off of people that I've met through Frank Lamar, through Preston. And I'm glad that we can continue our relationship. But one of the amazing things that made me want to be a part of Vision to Revenue, I'm a visionary one myself. And so when someone else shares their vision, that's really important to me. Like, because people don't have to share their vision with you, So when Frank Lamar, who is the mastermind, the visionary behind Vision to Revenue, really said what he wanted to do, and with me working in this space with a bunch of entrepreneurs as well as himself, it was a no-brainer. I'm like, boop, 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 boop. I'm gonna write it up. I'm gonna give it to you, right? You can take it, you can edit it, but I'm listening to what you're saying, and let's go. And when I built my brand, of course, I built it for me and the love of me and the love for helping people. But I started noticing my neighbors standing beside me to the left and to right and to the right of me, where my visibility was just kind of like really overpowering them.
Mhm.
And not that I'm not okay with that, right? Right? It's my brand. I want it out there, but I wanted you to be able to stand next to me and stand proudly next to me, right? I wanted your stuff to look as good and polished as my business does. And so that's where I really wanted to help business owners, not in the visibility space, but that visibility is going to now turn into revenue, and it's going to position you into a whole nother lane. And so that's why I was like, it's a no-brainer why I'm going to be a part of this. Let me get on the phone with Mr. A, 1248, and the rest of the team. Look, this is what we got going on. And one thing I could say, I do everything from the heart. You're absolutely right. So when I get others on board or other companies on board, they are on board. They put their heart and their soul into it. And so even when it's saying certain things, it's coming from the heart, it's coming from the love. Oh, I got chewed out too. I just didn't get chewed out in that chat. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Shanice, when you're talking about this, it makes me think about? It makes me think about Macy's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Macy's pop-up that we did. And I remember your setups. I remember when we do the small business expos and all the you have all these stuff. You got the boxes, you got the grass, you got all these bearskin different things. And I'm like, you Presto, what you got? And I'm like, we had our VIP socio set up, but that's never been, I've always just showed up as who I am. And so, just knowing what you do and then having your heart to be able to bring it to others, it's just a wonderful thing. And I didn't know. So you met me through Frank?
I met you through Frank. Remember, you came to the retreat.
Oh
That
yeah.
is when I first
Frank,
met you.
you brought,
Frank
but I thought you.
introduced us.
It's connected now.
Frank
Yes.
introduced
It was
us.
at
We were
Shanice
talking on the
retreat.
phone. We were talking on the phone. Frank introduced you and I, and then I was like, "Hey, can you do a workout session?" And then that's when you said the very first retreat in
I
Atlanta.
remember, yeah,
And
I
then
remember
that's
the
when you
retreat.
said you can do the what's the thing that we do on Sundays?
Fit church.
The Fit Church. And you did Fit Church. That was the first time I got introduced to Fit
I
Church.
remember that. I remember that. I just didn't know
Remember?
Frank, you be setting stuff. You be
Yes.
behind the scenes setting stuff up,
He
bro.
be behind this, and you are the same way, Preston, because
Uh,
I've met so many amazing, and sometimes we don't connect the dots. But when you speak of that, the Macy's event, I'm gonna tell you how that is definitely vision to revenue.
Mhm.
It started off with me doing my very first expo in Las Vegas. Now, I done been to Las Vegas many times, but not to present myself or a business. And I knew I had to go hard or go home. And I
Mhm.
started positioning myself right before going to Vegas. I went to many different conferences and events because I needed to talk to the people that were doing this. And I
Mhm.
got some sound advice. And so when I went in there, I went in with the strategy. So although I had the vision, I immediately turned that to revenue. We sold out within the first few hours, and millionaires and billionaires came to buy out my company. 5 different companies wanted to buy me out based off of the vision,
Mm.
solely off of the vision. They didn't try the product. I mean, they looked at it, they seen the crowd. All they needed to see was the vision.
Mm.
And that is why vision to revenue is so near and dear to me, because I know once you amplify that vision, it automatically turns into revenue.
Oh wow, that's a
okay.
good.
All
That's
right, Frank, go ahead and give us your origin story, because Shanice, that was even a better origin story than I had. Even I didn't even know the origins before the origins. But
yeah.
Frank, go ahead and give us your origin story. And I gotta give a shout out straight out. You're from the Bronx, Brooklyn.
I'm BX baby. What
Bronx,
Cardi
bro.
say? Money.
Hey, we went to Shanice's. Frank, you don't know this. We went to go see Shanice and Josie's old neighborhood. When we
Okay.
went to the Black Box Experience. Now we didn't. They was going around. Oh, yeah, this is where we grew
It's
up.
our
And
old
we
elementary
saw
school.
elementary school, and this is after we done sold out the event and everything like that. But like you forget like sometimes where you started.
hmm hmm
Like I ain't never been to Nebraska. I didn't been to Frank. You from
We
Jacksonville?
coming.
I'm from Duval, born
Duval.
and
Shout out
raised
Duval. You already know what time.
Duval.
Yeah,
Look, I gotta
you
stay
know,
professional here,
we
but
gotta stay
Duval.
professional, but we already know what time it is. Shout
Yeah.
out Duval County.
Yeah.
But when you think about them origin stories, like
hmm
I know my Duval origin story, but like it's such a beautiful journey.
hmm hmm
Such a beautiful journey, and you don't think about the when I did a video last night. I'm on this midnight motivation type thing because I can't sleep at night, stuff like that. So and I was thinking, I was like, are you grateful for the people who have been a part of your journey
mm
on each piece? And both of you have been crucial pieces of my journey. But Frank, I want to hear your origin story, straight out of Duval County, the
Right
Franklin
out
Moore.
of
What's
Duval.
up? What's good? Tell us a little bit more.
Well, what's up, Preston? First off, thank you for having us, Shanice. That was amazing. I definitely remember that retreat like it was yesterday. However, my origin story came from before social media was a huge tool as it is now, and everyone leveraging now is super amazing. I've always built brands centered amongst my network, ecosystem, and community. So, why vision of revenue was so important to me was because vision without an ecosystem stays inspiration. Vision with alignment becomes revenue. So, first, I want to start by telling you why this conversation really matters and why I don't talk about ecosystem and buying power from theory. I've sat at every table. I've been the creative with the vision and no access, the operator with responsibility and no leverage. And I've also been that consultant who was brought in after the money was already lost, being made, and then the partner expected to fix misalignment that should have never happened, right? So along the journey, I learned that most businesses don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because their ecosystem isn't aligned. And so growing up in business, I was the one who pivoted so many times, came back, rebranded. But one thing that I learned was your relationships, your partnerships, and who you align with matters. And I stopped going to rooms simply for access. And I started going to the rooms looking for partners, being very intentional, right? So you said one thing, Shanice, you said something about being a visionary. So if you are the visionary and or not the operator, become the connector. Learn how you're an asset in every situation. So sometimes they always say that your network, if your net worth, but a lot of people I started realizing did not know how to navigate relationships with the industries that they were in. So I watch people with large audience struggle financially, while the ones with smaller audience align networks quietly with building sustainable revenue. And then it clicked for me. Along the journey, I kept saying, okay, power doesn't come from scale first. It comes from the structure. And so along the lines of me starting off as first a caterer, being the one in front of the brand, and then starting to represent so many people behind the brand, it was like a twofold situation. So when I talk about leveraging your network, I'm talking about who you know. I'm talking about how intentionally relationships are designed to move resources, circulate money, and protect vision. And so I was that one that kept saying, like, I'm not going to another networking event unless it's about somebody. Like, so I then learned partnership must be designed like infrastructure, right? So if we align with the right people, instead of looking at people as connections, look at people as partnerships, right? So a little bit about that was after, identifying partnerships from my network and being an extensive person that came from a service background, being able to work with so many credible people in the industry. I then learned that I too was an asset. So, they called me the PR GOAT, Frank Lamar. Of course, y'all could call me that as well. But I was also once what I would call the black sheep, the one at one point growing up, being told that success, you had to choose either an army service of choice or a four-year school. I chose business because I learned responsibility very early on. And from stepping into business very early on, I saw that a lot of business owners outside of myself, they had the vision, but they didn't have the revenue plan. And then on the other side of pivots, I was the one who always had the vision, always would execute, always would leverage my network to make things happen. And I started learning that, oh my God, the power of not just having the vision, the infrastructure, the partnership, being able to identify roles, partnerships, being able to understand that misaligned relationships drain capital, aligned relationships multiply. I started learning like, okay, you got to have infrastructure in business. So to me, today isn't about what they would say motivation. It's about really showing how your alignment turns community into buying power and buying power into economic control.
Wait, say that
So,
again. Say that part. Say that part again, because I want to show something in real time. Say that
okay.
again.
Okay. So
It's about
today isn't about motivation. It's really about showing how alignment turns community into buying power and buying power into economic control, right?
and that's exactly what we're doing.
Yes.
Look at us. This is alignment.
Hmm.
This is alignment. This is community, right? This is turning everything into economic power.
Yes.
And not just power for us, but to the masses that we are sharing this with. So
Mhm.
I just wanted to show that in real time because that is exactly what we're doing. We just went through, wait, how we met, right? And we found that connection of where we aligned, right?
Mhm.
And we're still here today and we're turning
Mhm.
access to assets, vision to revenue, and
Mhm.
so much more. But go ahead.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I love that. I love that from both of you because we got. Let me give a shout out to Maya and Fitz real quick because that's how I met you, Frank.
Yes. Yes.
So
Coach
shout
Park
out Maya
Expo.
Butler, shout out Maya, and shout out my guy Fitz. Fitz is rocking. But the thing that I loved about what you said is, man, like, and Shanice, I know this is you too. It's not just motivation; it's alignment. But part of the alignment is being able to get up after being knocked down.
That's good.
Yes,
And I
yes,
think that when I think about vision and revenue, when I think about business, when I think about any of these things, there's a level of resilience that you have to have, and a level of, all right, I'm going to do it regardless of what everybody else thinks. And as you're taking those steps forward, you're going to find those people who are aligned on your journey. You're going to find those people who are going after the same things. So you're going to find those people who are hungry
Mhm.
hungry for what you have to offer. And like, that's one of my favorite things about I spend more time with Shanice,
Mhm.
but one of my favorite things about Shanice is I've seen this woman. I remember when we were doing Grameen and we were doing the funding and all those things, and how many calls she would sit on till 10:30, 10 o'clock at night. You got people talking about you, you got people saying it's not working, you got people doing all this, and she's still getting up doing the work. Frank, I didn't seen you. I didn't heard your name a couple of times, but every single time you get up, you better, you stronger.
Mhm.
And like as a business owner, our job is to solve problems, right?
Right.
We solve people's problems, but part of the problem that we solve is that we give them the inspiration to know that, hey, your journey don't stop here.
Mhm.
One thing can't stop you. That one person that's saying something about you, give them something else to talk about. Because
Right.
we're gonna come back with a victory. We're gonna come back with a win. We're gonna come back with something else. And that's like as we go into this vision to revenue, how and it's a question for both of you.
Mhm.
How do you make your vision big?
Mm.
How
Mm.
do you scale the vision? How do I go from I want to sell one book to
Mhm.
I'm gonna be a bestseller.
Mhm.
How
I
does
think
that
that's a
happen?
good question. And I will say for me, I'm going to speak for me. It's for me, it's definitely an individual thing. I think big, right? You said yesterday, think big. I love that model because that's exactly who I am. I do everything big, right? I've been told you're too much. You're this. You're that's who I always been
Mhm.
from the second grade, from walking gooey Lucci and all of that. I had that in second grade walking in school, but I think big. Then I started designing my own clothes. Then I started selling my own hair bows in second grade to teachers. So I always take what I see and I'm a 10x it immediately, right? I
Mhm.
don't care what anyone says. I could care less about what you say, right? I really can. But that's a confidence that I've had that was just instilled with me
That's
through
that
childhood.
Bronx right there. That's that
It's just been instilled with me through childhood. And I've seen it, right? I didn't grow up in the hills of New York. I grew up in the hood, right? And I won't say it was the hood, but I grew up in the hood, right? So I've seen things. I've seen what my neighbors went through, but I seen
Mhm.
how my parents took me out of that element, and then I went to the private school downtown. You understand
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So I had the best of both worlds. So it made me know, or even when I left and went to college, right? It made me know that, hey, if I keep going and exceeding and excelling and just projecting things that are big and higher, for myself, that I can't lose.
Mm,
I can't lose.
mm,
And even through it, I am going to have failures, but I will not lose.
mhm,
And so it's important for me to keep going. So, not even projecting it on others, I exude it within myself. So when I walk in that room, you're going to feel that energy. And either you're going to take heed to it, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I could do that too, even better, because that's what I want you to say. Or you're going to feel like it's going to dim you a little bit. And even when I see that happens, what Shanice does, she's going to go give you a hug and show you love because you are a queen, you are a king, and you can do this because it's not just me doing it. It's
mhm.
others that's out there doing it, and you can do it too. So that's what I
Absolutely.
say.
I like that. Like what you got for us?
Wow, that is a great question, and Shanice, that's a powerful story. I think that's why we align all align of our story of resilience and definitely taking our success, stories of failures and making them a part of our success story. So, congratulations to you both. However, the question of
He done hit us
how.
with this, however. No, Lord. How, however,
Furthermore, however, how I have been able to make my vision big is I always had alignment um in anything that I was doing, and I always understood the partner of partnerships. And with alignment, it creates leverage, right? And so with each partnership, whether it was a new business, whether it was an activation, whether it was a new product, I always knew that partnerships was the thing because I started a lot of things from ground zero. I had the idea, I had zero capital. But I had alignment and I had an ecosystem and a network. And I started to break those alignments into what I would call three buckets or three content pillars, right? And so, prime example, with doing a back to school drive with BMW south of Atlanta coming in, thinking I'm not the equal partner, but I had leverage, right? So I broke down the values, the resources, and then I broke down the revenue. And then we were able to create that social impact with our ecosystems to be able to come back and give back to our communities. Similar to how we had the vision of giving back to 1,000 families together collectively on this call amongst our communities and ecosystem, what we brought down. And when you think about it, every time value, resources, revenue. And so when I identified those alignment pieces in every partnerships and everything that I was doing, I realized that the alignment and I myself was the leverage. So I scaled through strategic partnerships, right? Along the lines, it was collaborations. Yes, I have those collaborations where we do co-branded things too, but you got to identify that you're the asset in this situation, no matter how much money you don't or do have. And I started leveraging the values in my ecosystem. I started leveraging the resources. I started leveraging the revenue and the impact that can be created in the revenue after. So I identified my partnerships. And if a partnership can't answer how money flows, it's not a partnership, it's a favor. And so alignment was one. And then I identified collective buying power, like how we're on this call now. And when I say collective buying power, the power of collaborating with said individuals for gain partnership. So one business negotiating equals limited leverage. If we all align in business negotiate together, we now have pricing power. So I started leveraging those partnerships to be able to scale revenue and create different business modules from the in event events and activations and things that I was doing. So pull demand before you spend money and negotiate as a group, not as individuals. So that's what I would say, how I was able to sell my vision. And then when we talk about a mission and vision, as far as a business plan and a business module, it's not much of a theory. A vision is not, okay, I have the vision of how this should go. No, write it out, make it clean. I want to be able to impact this many people for Black History Month. When, why, how? Then you identify your partners. And so I started writing and planning everything that I was doing so that way I identified my partners as infrastructure. I then identified the partnerships. How do you find partnerships? Role, responsibility, how we revenue share, decision, rights, all of that. So that's to answer your question in a broad scope.
Okay. Okay. So we ain't gonna hold you too long because I know y'all got some more visions to turn into revenue.
Yes.
I understand that. My
We had
last
some more visions to turn
We
into.
got-
we. I mean, I've got a great mastermind call later. We do Mastermind Expo. First of all, if you haven't checked out Shanice Gibbs' Mastermind Expo presentation, you need to watch that. You can find that on Elevating Black YouTube. Quick plug for you, Shanice. That one was amazing. But I got Mary Nixon Hahn. You talk about partnerships, you talk about relationships, Frank, right?
Mhm.
I played football with Mary's son in
Mm.
high school.
Mm. What position you played, Preston?
I play corner, safety, wide receiver, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Shut down, lockdown. Um, but her son Sean, um, he was about a grade younger than with me. He was on the autism spectrum,
Mm.
but played football, very high functioning, married kids. When Mary got into business and she wanted to get into business, she called me. I had started my nonprofit back in Nebraska. I had been doing a lot of things there. And she called me and she was like, hey, I want to get into business. I want to start helping people, families with autism. Right. I didn't know that Mary was a US Army veteran. She's on the spectrum herself
Mhm.
Mm.
and raises three boys with autism.
Mm.
Mm. Mm.
Three. And is married, works, does all the stuff. And when you talk about partnerships and you talk about the value in the people that you deal with,
Mhm.
there's something that you can learn from everybody. But I think that if you allow people to inspire you, if you allow yourself to learn from people, if you allow yourself to receive from people, it's easy for you guys to tell me something or for Mr. A to tell me something and for me to put that wall up like I know too much.
Absolutely.
It's so easy to do that. Or it's easy to be like, I'm uncomfortable, I don't understand this.
Mm.
I don't want to move any further, or this isn't what I do.
Mm.
Instead of taking those steps forward to pushing to say, all right, what is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to grow me? What am I going to learn from this? And that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited for Mary is because to come speak is just because I've seen her write books. I've
Mm.
seen her do all these things, and these are all things she never thought she could do until she start taking them steps forward. So for as we wrap up today,
Mm.
I just want you to give us one quote or one message for entrepreneurs, for people who are looking, who are striving for something, who are hungry for something. One quote, one message that's gonna put a little fuel in their tank. When I work with athletes a lot, and what we call it is the cookie jar. Jordan Bowers, University of Oklahoma, four-time national champion. Like I really do this.
Mm.
We talk about the cookie jar. What little piece of success can I pull out of my cookie jar that reminds me who I am? I'm gonna say who the F I am because because we're gonna try to stay professional today. But sometimes you have to pull that cookie out of that cookie jar when things are going wrong and eat that cookie of that success that you have or that win that you have, or this is who I really am. To remind
Mm,
yourself because things happen. We go through the world, things are going on. You got relationships. People may not see you as you want to be seen. People may not give you the respect that you deserve. You're still growing. You're on the way to your dream, but you're not quite there yet. So you're kind of like in between. You're in limbo a little bit because you're going after something, but you're not there yet. But you're not who you used to be. So it's a weird place. So Shanice, give us one quote, one inspirational thing that when you down, when you got to pick yourself up, because I didn't seen it, Shanice. I didn't seen you get back. All right, I'm back.
Dust them
I'm back
shoulders off.
now. She didn't got her boys. Like I only hang around people. I only spend time with people who inspire me. That's it. If you don't inspire me, I can't be around you. And so like when you going through it, Shanice, what's that quote or what's that message or what's that thing that gets you going, that gives you that extra juice to finish strong?
I
Mm,
will say, master thyself.
mm,
And it gets complex, but it's very simple. Knowing who you are, right? Knowing what you've been through, who you are, and where you're going. And your story, the way it's written, is the way it's written. But what you can do is once you master thyself, now you become in control. You become in control of mastering where you want to go, manifesting the things that you want. So now those things can become your reality. See, it doesn't matter where you came from, it does matter where you're going. And so implementing that in your daily life will change every single thing. Let's say right, one of the things I want to do, I got to get in shape. I want to get in shape, right? Okay, I know I used to be 100 pounds and 100 pounds only. That was it, right? The reality, I know after I had kids, I gained a lot of weight. Did I work out? No, because I've never ever had to work out, right? I danced professionally. I did all of these things to keep me active. And the reality of it is now, hey, I want to do better for myself. So taking those things and not feeling ashamed of things you've been through or where you came from, but really taking that and using that as fuel to where you're going and where you're heading. And from there, you will learn to master every single thing that comes in your path. But more importantly, you will master self.
that's good.
Shanice, before you go, Frank, we gonna nip this in the we either do Fit Church Live or Fit
Yeah.
Church 3 days a week. So you go get whoever you want to go. I listen,
Be
I'm just
back
as
on it.
effective. I'm just as effective online as I am in person. So don't get it twisted. So we will fix that out. So you find you some people and I will make sure that you never have to say that again. So that way we
Look at the
vision
accountability
we
partners. That's
vision
what we
to
do. That's
Yes.
the
everything. That's
alignment.
hey, y'all be holding me accountable. So we can make that happen. So that's an easy win right there. Frank Lamar, what you got for us?
I always kept the vision and the revenue in mind. I always kept my reason why I got started is what keeps me going. That is family, that is financial freedom, that is being able to say yes and no when I want to. But if I had to leave someone and everyone with a quote, I would say being the one that, went through the fire, came out not smelling like smoke, had so many setbacks, the power of resilience, being stripped it, having to rebrand again, losing everything, getting it back. What looked like a setback was really the moment I stopped chasing validation and started building something that could carry me. So
Oh,
I
okay.
want people to apply that when you are hearing the mouths of naysayers, when you are in your season of doubt, when you are operating in fear and not faith. Remind yourself what looked like a setback was really the moment I stopped chasing validation and started building something that could carry me. And I learned through the pivots, the setbacks, the rebrands, all of the things that was tied to the vision and tied to the revenue. I started changing my mindset and understanding that if I'm going through it, I got through it and I could bounce back. That was a lesson. It wasn't a failure. So start looking at the things that you go through as those moments that you need in your season of elevation.
I like that. I like that. Both of y'all really dropped some gems there. I think that mine is going to be you are unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
What has stopped you thus far? You know, all of us are on journeys, but we here.
That's
And
right.
in this moment, if we can master the moment, there's only one moment. There's not past is gone. Future is never
That's
gonna be
right.
here. We got now.
Mm-hmm.
And in right now, in this moment, I do it now and I'm unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as you start to believe that about yourself, and I think one things, and I appreciate you both for this, and Mr. A too, um, is talking about what we deserve.
Mm-hmm.
We deserve this.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Mm-hmm.
don't believe that you deserve it, how can you ever get it?
That's
Right.
right.
And like, I'm unstoppable. I'm taking action and I deserve that.
Yes.
Even if I don't get it the first time, I still deserve it. There's a quote that said, if I am if I'm working to become a pilot
Mm-hmm.
and I die before I'm a pilot, they're still gonna say like, all right, he was a pilot. So if you don't, no, it's something else. I'll think of it. I'll think of it. Oh, I can't.
They come
It's
back to you.
It'll
it'll
come
come
back.
back to me. But it's like even though you're on the journey to what you're supposed to become, in one world you're already there.
Mm-hmm.
And so why not live from the end? Why not see yourself as already deserving it, already having it, already embodying it, already having my business exactly where it's supposed to be? And while I'm on my journey, I'm just not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the way. I'm en route. I'm in progress.
Absolutely.
And so I'm unstoppable. I do it now. And those are the things that, you know, when I'm unstoppable and I do it now, you can't touch me because I'm gonna keep coming back. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep coming back. And so
I agree.
I just appreciate both of you. Thanks for what you're doing for Vision to Revenue. If you wouldn't just mind just sharing some of your information, where people can find you, how people can get connected with you, and you know, maybe if you want to share a little bit more about what they can expect from Vision to Revenue, that would be great. But I just appreciate you both just taking the time. We had a lot of comments. Renee, who was at the Urban League,
Uh-huh.
Shanice, when we did the black box. She
Yes.
was like, "Oh, this was the perfect time. Like, I don't know, this was alignment. I tuned into this. You
Mm-hmm.
know, this was great." And so, just go ahead, share your information, where people can find you, how they can get in contact with you, and we will, Shanice, we'll talk. I will do a daily or a weekly fitness group with you that we can combine, that we can bring people together, and that we can get some stuff, get some people, because you got health is wealth. When we
Health
talk
is
Yeah.
about
wealth.
that, we talk about it all the time. So go
Yes.
ahead, Shanice. Love to hear where you're at and how we can get in touch with you.
This is amazing. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you. I love having you all as accountability partners, but I look at you all, we're family. You know, we family. We help each other in need. We help each other when we're already rising and elevating and
Mhm.
helping each other through that next step and next phase. So I am just honored to be here and be in both of your presence. And thank you. But you can find me on Facebook right now, Shanice Gibbs, as you see my name, CHANISE Gibbs. You can also find me on my website, www.bearskinusa.com. But more importantly, find us on access to assets.net. access to access. Ooh, tongue twister.
Have Preston drop.
Access to
Whoa.
assets.net.
Just said, what we
Yes.
got? Okay.
Yes, but
She
I'm
was
gonna
listening to
let
that Cardi before the call.
I was listening to that money. Right. I was in my Cardi bag, but I'm gonna give the floor to Frank Lamar, really let him go in detail about the cohort, tell you how you could be a part of it, how you can change your life,
Mhm.
and bring that vision
To revenue.
to revenue. That's it.
First off, thank you, Preston. Thank you, Shanice, as well. I know you said where you could find me, but it's not about me, it's where they could find us. Next week, we're hosting another amazing call. Shanice, if you could drop the chat, the link in the group to Preston, so that way he could share it to everyone on his end. Vision to revenue was thought with a few things in mind: real results, real people, real revenue. And with this 4 to 6 person cohort, you guys will be getting elite brand architect and advisory from 5 to 6 level senior level consultants. And this program is backed by a corporate 500 company. So we didn't want to give you guys any fluff. We wanted to ensure that you guys left with a 90-day roadmap plan. We wanted to ensure that you guys left with branded photo shoots and new assets that you could use ongoing, but definitely throughout 2026. And we also wanted to let you guys know that you could come into the ecosystem, find clients, find partners, so that way your vision can grow from what you may be viewing as small, not big enough, or this won't attract investors, or the right person don't buy. I broke all of those limiting beliefs when I realized that I bounced back from everything that was meant to break me. So, to those business owners, those CEOs who are looking to rebrand, looking to scale without chaos, looking to grow, looking to really tie your vision, your visibility, your business framework, all of the things that you could think of. We're going a 4 week program, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. You're going to have the support, the guidance, the consultant, the expertise, but you're going to most of all leave with clear roadmap tied to projected revenue, with financial road mapping and so much more. Then we also have an amazing 2-day experience. So that Eventbrite link, we're hosting another call on more in depth about that. However, if you find me on social medias, I'm gonna send you more information because I
That's
want y'all to take action. So you can find me on Facebook at Frank Lamar, Instagram as DPR Go. Shoot me a DM. If you don't get the information today, I'll be sure you have it. Other than that, we are looking forward to ensuring that you have a scalable, future-proof business module tied to all of your revenue goals. Frank Lamar.
Love it. Go ahead and put your contact information in the chat for us one time. Frank, Shanice, thank you so much. Appreciate you so much. Mr. A, thank you for getting me together. And I appreciate y'all for let's 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 keep it real. Sometimes you gotta have those tough conversations. Sometimes we know the value that one another brings, but when you have those conversations, when you like, hey, we can do more, we can be bigger here, we can expand here, we can have more here. I think those are beautiful conversations. And so for anybody who wants to get in touch with me, you know who it is, Preston R. Harris. I'm the master builder. Tune in 3 o'clock Eastern. We will be back with a Mastermind Expo special. Mary Nixon Hahn. I run Elevating Black Community, the Hunters Mastermind. We have over 120 members in 8 different countries all over the world. But what we do is we hunt together. So we're a community where you come together, you pass referrals to one another, you work with one another, you help each other grow, and we're seeing people win. I got to give a shout out to Crystal, Divine Libations. Went from
Crystal, I'll
30.
be calling you back shortly.
Call Crystal because 2024, 35. Okay.
Mhm, mhm,
2025, 116.
mm, mm.
one pivot that she made in her business and changed everything. The one way how she saw it differently changed everything.
That's normally what it takes.
With we've got partnerships with Georgia Tech. We've got all these things, but tap in with us because you want to be with people who are hungry, who are moving. They say that you want people who are everybody's shooting for those celebrities and think that they're going to be the ones that helps them move their business forward. We're going for the people who are actually hungry for it. So I got to roll. See you. Vision of Revenue. Let's go. Peace.
Let's go.
See ya Sunday.
I think I do it when you're not here. Oh, pharmacy. I had to get something. You all right?
Yeah, why don't we just take over that?
I can't take over yours because I can't see your back office. You okay?
Mhm.